Have you only ever seen a Force Effects Elite lightsaber, or maybe the ones from Galaxy's Edge, and you'd like to see it compared to a Neopixel one? Well, today is the day I'm going to do that. We're going to have a look at the LEIA ORGANA Force Effects Elite and compare it to its Neopixel counterpart, and you can see the difference between the two and decide for yourself which one's cooler. Let's go. Hello once again to all my Jedi and Sith companions. I'm your host, the Frugal Jedi, and thank you for joining me as we take a look at the LEIA ORGANA Neopixel saber that comes from CXSABERs.com. First, let me say thank you to CXSABERs for providing this one so that I could do the direct comparison between the Force Effects Elite version and their Neopixel one. We'll be comparing the hilts, we'll be comparing the functions and features, and then you can decide for yourself which one is better. If you've never checked out CXSABERs.com, I totally recommend you have a look at their site. They have tons and tons of lightsabers, and they've organized them into different tiers. So you have your basic ones, then you have a little fancier, and finally you have replicas. They have the options for RGB, SN Pixel, and Profi. And they have one of the best discount codes that I can offer you guys. If you spend $189.99 US or more on a lightsaber, you enter the code Frugal Jedi, and you're going to get $30 off, which is a huge discount. This particular LEIA ORGANA saber is no longer being made. They're actually redesigning it and improving it, and there's going to be a newer model out in June or July. But for now, we're going to have a look at the original model, and it'll have the same internal features, but it's just going to have a little bit different design on the outside. With all that being said, let's point the camera down at the table and start unboxing it. Before I go and attach the blade, I want to have a close look at the hilt and compare it to the Force Effects Elite version. They do look very similar. The Neopixel version is a little more pink and not quite as polished as the Force Effects Elite one. The buttons are also a tiny bit different, and on the Force Effects Elite, there is a secondary button on the back where it's kind of hidden as a screw, while on the Neopixel, it is hidden on the side. So you kind of click it right there, you can hear it, and that is a hidden second button. You can also click the other side, but it doesn't do nothing. It's just, I guess, there if there was never an option for a third button, which would have been cool. Now, if you have a look at the emitter sections, the Force Effects Elite version, to attach the blade, you have to actually remove the movie accurate emitter, and you have to attach this one. So this one is a lot chunkier, as you can tell. And the way it works is you take your blade, and you have to put your blade in to the base. You give it a twist so it locks in, and then you slide down and screw in. And now it looks like that. With the Neopixel version, you don't have to do that. You just have to loosen the screws around the emitter, as I get them all here. Take out your blade plug and pop in the blade. Now what I found with this particular hilt design is the 36-inch blade was too long and too heavy. It is a very shallow emitter depth, really shallow. I'm actually going to install a 32-inch blade just because I find it to be a little easier to handle than 36. All right, so there they are. Let's turn on the Force Effects Lightsaber first and have a listen. It does not have sensitive smooth swing. It does have flash on clash. And on the back, if you hold down that button, you do get a pretty cool tip drag effect. You have no gesture control, so the way you turn it on and off is by tapping the button. This also uses AAA batteries, so you have to take off a screw on the back to take out the core to put the new batteries in. And that is really all it does. So, unfortunately, for such a beautiful looking hilt, it doesn't do a whole lot. Now let's have a look at the Neopixel version.
Power on.
So first of all, Neopixel, we can adjust the volume. By holding both buttons, you'll hear a beep. And you can make it really loud. Or you can make it really quiet. You can mute it if you like. But we'll put it to maximum volume. Now to turn this one on, I can tap the button, I can twist my wrist, I can stab, and I can swing. And you can hear the smooth swing. You have blaster blocks. And you can switch colors. And there's no comparison with the brightness. The Neopixel is so much brighter. And you can do lockup. You have tip drag. So really, you can't compare the two. The Neopixel one is just so much better. It's not even funny. You also have all the different character sound fonts. You don't want blue and you want to be Darth Vader with Leia's hilt? Go ahead. You also have different blade styles.
Music 4.
So there's Rainbow Blade. You have Pulse Unstable Fire Blade.
Music 5.
There's an Unstable. It's Bluetooth enabled, so you can control it through Bluetooth. You can add new effects. It is limitless with this Neopixel Saber. 1,000 times more features than the Force Effects Elite one. So really, there is absolutely no comparison. Now with this particular LEIA model, and I really hope that they correct it with their updated design coming out this summer, is how the blade connects. The pins for the Neopixel are visible inside the hilt, and I don't like that at all. And where the screws attach to, it's just touching the very bottom of the blade. Again, I don't like that. I feel like the blade should go all the way down and those pins should be further inside the emitter, and then it'll have a little better grip on the blade itself. It doesn't matter what type of Neopixel saber you pick, whether it's LEIA or ORGANA, whether it is something that's non-canonical or a different replica, it is going to kick the crap out of anything that Hasbro has made. Yeah. There really is no contest. I would like to demonstrate this LEIA ORGANA Neopixel saber for you. I'll show you some of the different sound fonts and different ignition and blade effects, and then join me in the end for my final thoughts. So it is time for my final thoughts, and what do I think of the LEIA ORGANA replica Neopixel saber that comes from CXSABERs. Hilt design is beautiful. I like the coloration on this one more than the one from Hasbro. It also has a pearl accent between those fins, like a mother of pearl. It just looks really, really nice. This is not a combat saber. By no means would you ever fight with LEIA saber. A few reasons. Number one is it's a skinny neck. So anytime it's skinny, when you're hitting another saber, you are putting a lot of pressure on that part and it could bend or it could snap. Secondly, the other reason I wouldn't deal with this is because it holds the blade in at the very bottom. It's just not doing a terrific job. For cosplay and just taking photos and movies, it's okay. So I do hope they correct the issue with the blade. That's my biggest gripe, is I don't want to see those pins. They should be completely hidden and that blade should sink in a little further. You have 27 sound fonts with background music, and you can add more, so it's packed full of features and you can create all sorts of stuff with these. I have a list of tutorial videos that you can go through, create your own hum effects and different ignition effects and blaster effects. Just go crazy, like it's amazing. The quality of the hilt is really nice. It is full metal. The quality of the 36-inch blade is great. No wobbling in it. It was very well made. The only issue with quality for me is the fact that a 36-inch blade is just too heavy for this. You can just feel that weight pulling down, and this saber just can't handle it. So 32-inch is okay. But I do know that they're going to be releasing a new updated version, and I really hope they get it right. and I hope I can get another one that's updated, so like the new version 2 LEIA, and compare it to the version 1, because I do love the LEIA saber. It's just not perfect yet. That wraps up this unboxing and review. If you did find it helpful, please don't forget to give it a like. Subscribe to my channel to see more unboxings and reviews. And if you want to be notified, tap on that bell so you'll get a notification whenever I release something new. And don't forget my discount code FrugalJedi, which gets you an additional $30 off your order if you spend $189.99 or more. Well, that wraps up another video. Thank you all for watching. May the Force be with you.